ccsradio.com on a beautiful Friday morning here in Indiana, PA. And I want to talk to Stephen for a second. Stephen, what's it like where you are this morning?
It's a beautiful day in Texas.
Is it really? All right. Well, we're on the way to 72 balmy degrees here. You're probably going to be a little warmer than that there, aren't you?
Yeah, we're getting up close to 80 or 90, I think.
Oh, 80 or 90. That's nothing.
we finally broke the triple digits about a week ago.
There you go. There you go. Things are looking up. Well, we're hoping that things look up for Xander, who's in the studio with us this morning. Our conversation with Xander and his parents this morning, the Marshalls, and with Stephen as well, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. In fact, I'm going to ask Pat Marshall to introduce Stephen to us this morning. Pat, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you? Wonderful,
wonderful. If you get a little closer to that microphone and tell us about Stephen.
Yeah, so didn't know a lot about Stephen at all until obviously Xander was diagnosed with SURF1. Went into the hospital in May 26th, diagnosed June 12th. Started searching for an answer, and Stephen's name came up in both conversation with a resource I'd reached out to online, and I saw his name associated with the Cure Mito Foundation. And then one of the other doctors we were speaking with mentioned his name too, so that's what kind of got us introduced to Stephen through the Cure Mito Foundation. So just searching the internet, trying to find out, and then we've just talked to Stephen via Zoom call with the Cure Mito founder once or twice, I believe, Stephen. But we're very grateful that there's people out there like Stephen that can really hopefully help us find a cure for Xander.
Yeah. Stephen, tell us about SURF1. What is it?
Yeah, so SURF1 is a genetic disease that affects mitochondria, and just, for everybody's like kind of basic high school biology, mitochondria are kind of the powerhouse of the cell. They provide energy to, basically all the cells in the body, especially muscles and neurons in the brain. And so there's basically one gene, one of the genes out of the 20,000 genes that everybody has that essentially isn't working right. And so then the mitochondria can't make the energy that they need, and it leads to, really, kids kind of having just a global energy deficit, but more dramatically, neurons can't really function. They can't get the energy that they need, and over time, those cells in the brain actually start to die, and then it leads to, just the patient's. Again, it's kind of like a degenerative disease where cells in the brain are dying. The brain can't really function correctly, and it starts not being able to send signals to the muscles. Honestly, it's really an awful disease where, kids can just kind of lose the ability to walk, lose the ability to speak, and have a lot of other symptoms that just progress over time.
I should formally introduce me as Dr. Stephen Gray. Stephen, tell me about Cure Mito.
Cure Mito is a foundation, nonprofit organization that kind of rose up, kind of grassroots thing around Dallas, founded by a wonderful mother named Casey Wolben, and they've been they have a son that also has SURF1, Lee syndrome, and they've been working to advocate for the disease, to kind of bring different families together, raise money, and ultimately work towards a treatment for this disease.
And people can actually donate to Cure Mito. It's curemito.org/SURF1, correct?
Yeah, I believe that's right.
All right, wonderful. I know that you're very busy, and I appreciate your coming to visit with us today to explain what this is. And I'm going to let you get back to work there today because you've got some vitally important things to do, and we're going to talk with the Marshalls. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, pleasure to be on. Thanks a lot, Todd.
And there is Dr. Stephen Gray. Now let's talk a little bit more with Pat and Jenna Marshall. And as you could hear, probably, Xander is with us here in the studio. Hi, Xander. There you go. There you go. Pat, Jenna, let's talk a little bit about Xander's case in particular. And you mentioned, Pat, finding out about what it is that he has and how rare it is, and what the prospects are for someone who is afflicted with this. Generally, they're not thought to be very good.
No, I think Jenna and I can both speak to it. I think when we first got the news, like I told the newspaper the other day, just kind of disbelief. They tell you 1 in 40,000 chance. I think Jenna and I the whole way home were thinking, obviously we know what the chance is, 1 in 40,000, but like, what's the chances it happens to us? And the bad thing is, we sit there and Jenna specifically asked the doctors, like, hey, not to insult you, but what else is there out there? And they're like, oh, nothing. Go home. At that time, it was like a 6-vitamin cocktail, I think. And Jenna was crushing them up every day and then mixing them with something and trying to give them to them. Fortunately, we got some other resources in that were going to help us, give them this vitamin cocktail. But again, it's only a slight treatment. It doesn't really stop the progression of the degenerative disease or anything like that. It's not a good diagnosis. When you get hit with that there's nothing you can do. And what they specifically say, go home and enjoy your time with your kid you have left. And so that's just what I think her and I would stay up all night just searching, trying to find something. And fortunately, we did find people out there that, already, unfortunately have the disease but have some resources out there. And fortunately, someone like Casey and the Cure Mito Foundations started working on this since 2018.
Yeah.
And like I said, they put in a lot of time, a lot of effort. Sadly, there's an article they wrote out this week, and it was out in the Dallas Morning News, I believe. Even if this cure comes out, it may not even be helpful for their son, but they're still out there pushing it. So we told them we want to do everything we can, obviously, for our son, for other kids out there. I mean, as much as it is for our son, it's everyone else has to sit in that little room like we were, and someone give you that news, and someone someday to be able to say, just go down the hall and just going to get the shot, and you're going to be all right. That right there would be, I think, amazing.
Yeah. Jenna has been wrestling here this morning.
He's not one to stay still.
Jenna, how many kids do you guys have?
We just have Xander.
Just Xander.
Yep.
Just Xander. And so tell me about your daily with him, because it obviously it requires a ton of effort on the part of you and Pat.
Yeah, so I currently work from home, and Xander stays home with me because he can't go to a daycare because we can't allow him to really get sick. If he gets sick, then we're at risk for the lesions to come more, and then he'll be hospitalized. And right now, he is kind of one of the few that are able to still walk, talk, and eat by himself. So we're trying our hardest to keep him that way.
Yeah.
And so daily routine is we get up. He has his breakfast. He gets his vitamins, which is now currently he has like one of 15. So he gets vitamins in the morning, and then he gets vitamins in the evening. And it's gross, but they smell really bad and taste very bad because, we tried them just to see, what are we giving our son to kind of see what it's like, and they are bad. But he does it like a champ, and then all day we just kind of hang out, we play, and then by noon he's exhausted, so he goes down for at least a 2 to 3 hour nap for me, and then we wake back up, and he usually then goes outside and plays with his tractors.
He's therapy 4 times a week.
Oh, yeah, and he has therapy 3 times a week. They come to the house for me, so he acts like, it's just like it's playtime for him. But it's nice that they are willing to come to the house. So we do speech, occupational, and physical therapy. And he loves all of his therapists. He thinks they're, wonderful because they come and play with them for a little bit. But it's a lot. It's a lot to manage because, you got to force them to eat all day long. And, a 2-year-old, they don't want to eat, what you want to give them. They want to eat, whatever. But I got to make sure he gets enough protein in a day. I got to make sure he gets enough fluids in him. So it's a full-time job all day. Obviously any parent's a full-time job, but this is just a little bit harder because you got to track and make sure that he's getting more protein because his body right now is lacking the protein. So.
You guys had to become scientists and experts really, really quickly, didn't you?
Yeah, and that's what the doctors even said to us. We're very grateful for our Philadelphia team, too, that, they signed them up so I can give them an infusion once a week. But they even said, you're going to know more about it than a lot of people. Because we look at it every day, and even to this day, I mean, we know that Cure Mito's out there, and we know that Stephen Gray's out there, but we're still looking for more and trying to find what else we can do to help.
Yeah. So in terms of helping, folks can get on board with this. And,
Yes, and we would greatly appreciate it, and I love our Penns Manor School District. They're blowing me out of my mind. I mean, every day they message me on something new that they've, created and they want to help do fundraising for, and I appreciate all of it. Hostas is helping. We're going to do Chipotle, and everything's found on, you can Google me on Facebook if you want. It's all public. And Bella Spa, they're having a donation out where you can go and put money in. Everybody's helping. I'm blown on how grateful I am for this community.
Now, folks can make donations at Penns Manor football games.
Yep.
And probably at other places as well.
Yeah, they can do it. It's going to be, I know at all the little football teams, they have donation boxes out. And then on September 29th, the varsity team's going to have a big football team, like a big kind of gathering at the game that you'll be able to donate and kind of get baskets and stuff like that at. Yeah,
so all of that will be happening, and the monies, of course, will be raised to help find a cure for this particular affliction. Surf 1 Lee syndrome is what we're talking about officially here this morning, and I would assume that other schools would be more than willing to accept donations as well. So we'll go ahead and put that out there this morning, that other schools can do that and direct them to the Penns Manor football program or school district.
I just want to make it clear too, all the funds go directly to Cure Mito. So and they go to the foundation to help do the gene therapy. Nobody's getting money for the funding, all of this. It's all, pro bono, and we're very grateful for Casey because she has a lot that she manages for all of this. But yeah, all the money goes directly to Cure Mito, and you can even send a check directly to them if you don't want to donate online.
Yeah. Well, Xander has been very patient with us this morning. Pat, Jenna, thank you so much. We thank Dr. Stephen Gray as well for what he's done to tell us about this morning as well. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
It's the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. I'd like to just keep talking about this for the rest of the day, but I have to move on. Good morning. Fox News up next.